Good evening, everyone. It's Friday night, Forex and Chill. It's February 22nd. And tonight we're going to cover market structure. And one of our traders, he's going to show the way that he marks up his charts to identify his supply and demand zones from the monthly all the way down to the 4-hour and his support and resistance. Thank you, sir. You can introduce yourself and show us your markup.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Jamal Robinson, and I'm finna show you how I mark up. It just makes the zoning for me a whole lot easier. Anybody want a particular pair to mark up, or y'all want to mark up UCAT again?
UCAT is fine.
All right. Like I say, I start from the monthly, and I go over here. Oh, excuse me. I go and lock it, and I get my my horizontal rate. Where I start where price is. Oh, you know, where's the, you know, right there is done topped off. Now this, even though the money's not over, if you look to the left, you see the third candle to the left where that month is over with. So that's a key zone. I'll make a mark here. I'll make a mark here. And right here. I usually make roughly about 4 of them. Then I drop down to my weekly. When I get to my weekly, that's when I draw my trend line. Then when I go down to my daily, now everything is pretty much zoned off. You know, you got your supply and demand zone on all stages, the weekly, the monthly, and the daily. When I go down to the daily, I see where price was right here. I see where price stopped right here. This is a good zone. So now, when I go down to the 4-hour, I'm in this zone. I'm in my supply and demand zone. You know, I showcase the market as a downtrend. Now we know after every impulse, we got to get a correction. So if I was looking at this, get my little right, we will correct here and we will come down. Now the beauty of this is, if you ever forget where you at in the market, you can always go back up and it's gonna tell you exactly where your zones are. So you know if you break this trend line, you can come down to here. Price could possibly go all the way down to here. If it rejects and go back up, you can get back in the 1333 zone. And if it breaks that, you can go all the way back up. But it's just an easy way for me to zone off each time frame at one whop, and I always have a clear picture of the market when I'm looking for the overall move. So that is that. Appreciate y'all.
Great job. Does anybody have any questions or need him to go into detail and explain anything?
Thank you, sir. I got a question.
Yes, sir.
When you did, I'm glad you explained it with the on the monthly when you first do those first 3 or 4 lines. You said the third candle back because that had finished, and then I was wondering when you set your first 2 candles. I think we got that the third and the fourth one. Are you doing it at the wicks?
Yeah, I'm pretty much doing them at the wicks. Now, see if you can see. If you look at this candle right here, let me see if I can blow it up. It's right at the top of the wick. Like okay. This candle here is right at the bottom of the wick. I mean, this is, sorry about that. And But as you notice, them all were key areas where price either met resistance, and it stays right there in the zone. So when you drop down, like say when you drop down to the weekly, you already know price was in this range.
Yes, sir.
Like when we drop down, and you can see right here when you drop down to the daily, for the last few weeks, price got no higher than 133.76 and got no lower than 130.727. So it just makes it easier. So if we just say, like, you remember when that like, just say if we got, for some strange reason, UCAD just dropped. If it dropped and it broke our trend line and then corrected itself,
you got another zone.
Yeah, you already know where your zone is. And you could possibly get that without ever having to remark your chart up. You always know where you're at in the market. And if you ever forget, you can go to a higher time frame or you go down to your lower time frame, whichever time frame that you're you trading off of, so you can find your entry. So if you're marking up off the 4 hour, then you can go out to the 1 hour to find your entry if need be.
And that was going to be my question, if you wanted to carry everyone through to where you look for your entry.
Right. See, I do it when I set my when I set my chart up from the monthly, it works all the way down to my entry point. So I'm never lost. And anytime I am lost, I either go up to make sure I know, the overall trend of the market, and then I just work my way back down with the overall trend in mind, and I go toward the entry.
Okay, now I know your trading style, and I know that you know what you're doing, but for some of the newer people on here that market structure is new to them, do you use any type of moving averages or a MACD, or do you go down to your 15-minute and look for the flag completion? Could you go a little further into detail?
I am playing with these moving averages, and I'm playing with the MACD. I don't have them. I don't have it down packed. So basically, I just really naked charts and just I use fib levels, but mainly what I try to, me personally, I try to work in the supply and demand zones. And like I say, when I go down to the 1 hour. And with this, it gives you patience as well. Because if you know the overall, if you know the overall direction of the market, some moves you won't get in. If it's a 30 pip move, 40 pip move, when the overall move to the upside or downside is possibly a 250 pip move, then you'll wait on that. At least, that's how it helped me with patience.
Can you go down to the 15-minute chart and show?
Sure.
Oh, never. Oh. And show how you would enter from there from marking up on the 4 hour?
Well, see, I go from each time frame, from the 4 to the 1, because this is what I'm.
And when you get done, I'll cover on how to enter using the MACD, just to add to what you're doing right there.
Okay. Hypothetically, this would be our move, because this is where price had been playing the whole while. So as we see, I know when price got it here, the last time it got here, it was rejected. So when I go down to I go to the 30. And this is where, hold on, let me go back up to the hour. Now I will put my fibs on this, you know, from the 1 hour, and then I will look for my entry on the 15. But if I had to guess, it'll be right around. It'll retrace right around here, just because of market structure.
So would you put a pending order, or do you do market execution?
No, I do market execution.
Okay. Do you want me to show the MACD on my screen, or do you want to pull it up on yours and I'll walk you through it?
Well, I'll pull it up.
All right. Just pull up your standard MACD. Because the MACD really helps a lot of people knowing when those flag corrections are over. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with, yeah, you can delete one of them. You got 2 on there.
Yeah.
And you can delete that RSI if you want. I don't know how many of you are familiar with and trading the bounce back strategy, but if you go down to your 15-minute,
All right, I'm at 50.
all right, go to the top of that channel where it first started falling down. And let's look at all the flags. And sometimes it's cleaner on your 5-minute, so that's why let's get all the way to the top. And you can zoom in if you need to. There you go. Zoom out. All right, you see that first flag? If you look down at your MACD, it came straight down into your MACD. Like it's at the very top right there. You see that exact same structure on your MACD, right?
Yeah.
When it finished forming, it crossed over and went to your downside. That puts you in a downtrend. And you see when that one finished and pulled back into the MACD, those your lines at the bottom are your signal line and your MACD line. When they pulled back into the MACD and started coming back down, it started your next descension on your flag. If you notice, your candles are doing the same thing your MACD is doing.
Okay.
Whenever you saw those MACD lines cross the signal line and the MACD line, you could have gotten in there. If you can zoom in a little bit on your actual MACD, you'll see the orange and blue lines crossed to the downside, and that could have been your entry. And you'll see that at the end of each flag, that MACD crosses up, and when it's the flag is over, your MACD is crossing back to the downside. Do you see that?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Okay. All right. There go my impulse. There go my correction.
And you see
And that will be my
they
continuation
crossed over.
right
The
here.
orange went on top and it pushed it down. At the bottom, when blue turned back over, it started your flag. At the top, they switched over and it started going down again. At the bottom, it flipped. It started another flag. At the top, they flipped and started going down again. So that's how you can tell on the 5 and 15 minute when your flags are over and start looking for an entry. And you can also draw another trend line over the top of those flags. And when you see it bounce off the top of that little channel and that MACD has crossed, you can sell from the top of that flag, or you can wait till it breaks out of the bottom of that flag. So like, look at your middle flag, the one where you have the line.
Mm-hmm.
Put a line on top of it, make like a little channel. Because anything that happens on a higher time frame happens on a lower time frame and so forth. So you got your channel, and you see where it rejected off there. If you look straight down, your MACD line's crossed.
Right here.
You could have sold it that first time from the top of that channel. You would have got kicked out in profit if you moved up your stop loss, and then you would have got in again at the top of that. And that's another thing I'm going to cover tonight is trading channels. But you see how the MACD lines up perfectly with your flags?
Wow.
And the breakout. You never had to go back. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
And you see at the bottom when it crossed and crossed back up into your MACD on the top side, it finished your flag, came back and started your next one. This pair is a little choppy, but it'll look a little different on all pairs, but you can use it on any pair and on any time frame. Now, if you look at your 4 hour, now look at your MACD. You see the bigger moves. You see when it first crossed over and went to the downside.
Oh,
It rejected off the MACD and pushed up for that first flag, then it crossed to your downside. And it's basically stayed under there. And you see it's turned down, so it's still in a downtrend.
and the closer you get to the zero line, that's where you
Right.
going into your
The zero line, if it rejects off the zero line and goes down, it's finished. If it crosses over to the upside, it's not finished. You wait for the lines to actually cross. So it's either going to reject off the bottom for a sell or reject off the top when you're in a buy, or either cross over. But you let the MACD finish playing out on the smaller time frames. Now, if you want to go back to it, look on the 5 minute, and you can just see, and you can back test this on any pair. It just depends on, you see how it stayed underneath it the whole time on the 5 minute, but it would just like go up to it and like kiss it and reject most of the time. So the MACD is very useful. The most popular time frame and the cleanest time frame seems to be the 15 minute for flags. Okay. And when you get the real big deep flags, that just means that your pair was due a correction on a higher time frame. If you get a small flag, it's a correction for the current time frame. When you get a big flag, it's a correction for a higher time frame, because every time frame after an impulse has to have a correction. Okay. So that's why when you hear people talk about, I'm expecting a deeper correction this time, it's because they had looked at their daily and there had not been a correction in like 3 or 4 days. So like if we go back to GBP JPY real quick. And if anybody has any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Especially,
Gigi, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
This is Gloria.
Hey, Gloria.
I noticed Stevenson, I follow him. He changes his candles to the Hakanashi candles.
That is built into the bounce back strategy. His personal trading, he doesn't. That's for the bounce back, because that was a strategy that Christopher Terry and I think Eric Garrison had traded for a while. They combined their two strategies. The Hakanashi is like a cross between the candle and the Rinkos, and where it shows just it's either a buy or it's sell. It gives you more of a true price action.
Yeah, because he said it works well with the MACD, because both of them are like lagging indicators. The Hakanashis and the MACD work together.
And see, the RSI is a leading indicator, so it'll get you in a trade too early. That's why a MACD is safer, because you might miss the first few pips, but you won't get in early and be caught up in some drawdown.
Okay.
Wait, can you repeat that last part on the drawdown?
An RSI is a leading indicator, so sometimes it will get you into the trade too early.
Okay, got you.
That's why if any of you watch Nez when he teaches his binary options, he has an extra line drawn on his RSI, and he tells you not to buy until it comes up to that line. I can't remember if Josh was on here. He probably knows, because he follows him and trades binary options with him. But he has a certain line on his RSI that he uses, so you will not get into the trade too early. I haven't tested it out yet, but as we know, he's made close to $2 million in under 2 years, so it's working well for him.
Say so.
Yeah. So that's, if you want to go back, he has his settings on all of his IML TVs where he covers them. All right. Does anybody else want to mark up a pair or cover anything? I was going to cover a few things.
Hey, another quick question on the MACD chart. When it crosses at the bottom, is that like an entry point, or do I need to wait for it to the zero?
Take us down to the 15 minute, Jay.
All right.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's go to the top of that channel where it first started coming down. All right, right there at the top of that channel. You see the MACD crossed?
Right.
That was your indication. It was getting ready to pull down. And then at the bottom where it crossed back up, it started that flag. It hit the top of that channel, crossed and came back down again. And you see the MACD. Whenever you see the MACD crossing, that lets you know it's getting ready to pull back into the histogram. The orange and blue lines are your signal and your EMA. The actual blue and green in the middle is your histogram. And you'll notice when there's darker green, you have a stronger push. When it starts getting lighter green, it starts losing momentum. And you see the dark red, you have a stronger bearish move.
Okay.
And as the bears are getting weaker, it starts turning into a light pink. So that's another indication it's getting ready to pull back up. So dark green means there's strong bullish power, and the lighter green means the bulls are starting to lose control, and it goes into the dark red because the bears are pulling stronger.
Right.
So it's sort of just like a roadmap that you can follow to let you know what's happening in the market.
Okay.
Frankie, it's Nez Viguez, Nes, and then VQEZ. All right, any other questions on the MACD? Does everybody feel confident that they'll be able to, and if you have any questions on the MACD or you feel like you need additional training, you can go to the IML Bounce Back Facebook page. Stevenson Lindor does cover the MACD extensively. I think Dre Boyd uses the RSI, so I'm not familiar with the RSI because I do use the MACD extensively. I don't use the RSI. And yes, we can cover bounce back. In addition to the bounce back trades, people are applying those rules to their everyday trading about the breaking the trend line and waiting for the MACD to cross on a lower time frame and getting some really good trades. So even if you're trading it on the bounce back alerts, you can also apply it to your regular trades. And we'll cover that in just a minute. But can you take us to USD CHF? We're going to talk about trading channels a little bit because whenever you know the direction that a market is going, you can start trying to enter the market from the top of channels. So go on like your 15-minute and zoom out and see if you can find the channel where this has been trading, like the high and the low, and use a horizontal ray to box it in. Go to your 15-minute. See if it'll look a little bit cleaner. And I know I've been doing it on EuroCAD. You can get your high, and don't include the fake out at the bottom. Just like go back out so you can see it real good. And if you need to, you can use your line chart.
Okay. How far we at? How far you want to go back?
Go back. Go all the way back. You already passed it. It's at the very. It's where current price is.
Oh, okay.
You see, you had your impulse, and now you have this long correction.
Right, right here.
Put a horizontal ray at the top and a horizontal ray at the bottom. Right there. And then put one at the bottom, but don't include that first fake out because it tried to break down and it didn't. All right, we know we're looking for a sell, right? We have our impulse, and this is our correction. So at the top peak where it's bouncing off that channel, you could enter for a sell. And when it reverses the pullback up, you can get out and just enter for the sell each time. And you're finally going to get that final break. So for those who like to scalp or get shorter moves, or for those who are looking for early entry and you don't want to wait to the break of this channel, whenever it's rejecting off the top, you go in your lower time frame and look for an entry. So do you know how to put the little circles at the top of each peak where it bounced? You got 4 that I see right now. Yep, your little eclipse. Got that one. You could have entered there. And you just make a small one. It doesn't have to be too big. Put one on each. That's good. It'll be bigger when you get off of it. These were tricky when I first started making them, but I see 4 good entries that you could have gotten here. And other pairs are more volatile and they pay more pips. But I know someone who personally made a lot of money doing this week because he's been anticipating this drop. And we saw it recently on GJ. GJ had a channel like this a couple months ago, and each time it dropped, it was giving someone over 200 pips. And he's a 6-figure trader, so he was putting some heavy lots on there each time it dropped. So, and tell us how many pips it's dropping each time. And just do one of them from top to bottom. So you're getting like a good 25 to 30 pip drop. But what you're trying to do is this is eventually going to break to the downside. And now we're going to go on your 4 hour. Yeah, go on your 4 hour real quick. And look left and give us a ray to where we're expecting it to drop to. All the way down there at the bottom. So when this sells off, you could get a couple hundred pip move all the way down to his next zone. So how many pips is it from the top to where we expect it to drop to your next zone? All right. So by getting in at the top of that channel, you have a head start on a 270 pip drop. So eventually you're going to get the drop and you're going to get 270 pips in addition to those 20. Does that make sense to everybody?
So you're saying that the drop has already happened and now it's correcting and getting ready to continue down?
Yeah, you see we have our impulse correction, continuation correction, continuation. This is just a correction on a higher time frame. Let's look at our daily. Remember, the first impulse, we get a smaller correction unless it's due correction on a higher time frame. All right, you see how many days this had dropped without correction? That's why you're getting a longer correction. Because you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of red candles. So it was due a deeper correction. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And
No, I don't think I'm understanding you.
If you have an impulse on a 1 hour time frame, you're going to have a smaller flag than if you have an impulse on a daily time frame. So we have a daily impulse here of 5 candles. So you had 5 days of straight drops. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So now you're getting a longer correction or a stronger period of consolidation. And usually the stronger period of consolidation, the harder the drop you're going to get when it does drop out. So we could finally see that break to the downside and catch that 271 pips, which this is a slow moving pair, but this can be applied to any pair.
I was just getting ready to ask that. Does that apply to any pair? Because now,
Yeah,
okay,
I think you remember when Mario's was trying to catch that GJ from the top, and each time he was getting over 200 pips at like 10 standards.
Yeah.
And finally he got like 500 pips on the final drop.
Right. Okay.
So that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to sell it from the top each time. And that when we finally get that break, we're going to get a good position.
Gotcha. Okay. And then
if you zoom in and if you sell it from the top, like last night when we took GCAD, we had a 2 pip stop loss. And how many pips did we catch? 121 pips.
Oh, okay.
So, we jumped on and traded together last night. We called GBP CAD. We had a 2 pip stop loss from the entry. Some people waited until, they had their confirmations and they had like a 10 pip stop loss. But how often do you get a 2 to 10 pip stop loss to get 121 pips?
Right. Exactly.
So that's why it's important to catch it at the top of the channel, because if you sold it at the bottom of the channel and it pulls back up to the top, now you got 20 pips of drawdown. And nobody wants to be caught up in 20 pips of drawdown for the next couple days, waiting for it to drop again. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Does anyone have any questions about that, about trading in that channel? And another channel we can look at is EuroCAD. It's in a 100 pip channel right now, and we've been buying that from the bottom. See that? That, if anyone is not familiar, the channel that it's in is called a descending channel, which is a reversal pattern to the upside. And if you had bought it from the bottom each time, tell us how many pips that is. So we could see it pull all the way down to the bottom, but each time, since we don't know when it's going to finally break out, we're getting 100 pips to the good.
166. Please don't miss this move. This is going to be wonderful.
Right. I'm looking at it right now like, oh, man.
So this is my move of the week next week, because I feel like we're finally getting to the bottom of this channel. We could see 1 or 2 more days going down, but if we catch it to the upside, how many pips will that give us from where it is right now at the very bottom?
You said stop right there and just retrace back to the 50. To the 50 is 300 and almost 400 pips. To the 61.8 is on 473. So it very well can go to the 78.
If we get 100% retracement from bottom to top, what could we get? Let's take it all the way to the bottom where I'm expecting. I think we're going to get it all the way to that.
You think you're getting it right here?
Yeah, because look left.
Right.
Yeah, and that's an aggressive drop right there on that last candle.
Yeah.
But and see, that's why even like, and when I mark up the way I marked up, see at the month, it's already at this zone. And that's why I said it just helps me to see everything.
Right.
No matter what time frame. But this is going to be wonderful.
So everybody put this. This was going to be one of my setups of the week for next week. I've been trying to catch this. I've caught it from the bottom a couple of times and made 100 pips. And then take it to the 1 hour. I sold it one day, and then I saw that reversal pattern and got out quick. You see right there, the one all the way to your left right there. It made like a little hook. That's when I knew it was getting ready to come back down. When I saw that rejection and that wick, I got out. I knew. So we're finally going to get the break to the upside. And you see, we got a strong, and usually there's a strong sell-off to the downside before it reverses. So everybody, mark that on your charts. And me, I have alerts already set. And that alert went off today because that was one of my levels. Do you know how to create alerts? Can you show everybody how to do that? If you can get rid of like the Fibonacci and everything.
All right.
Show everybody how to create an alert. That way nobody misses this trade. Everybody wants this trade, right? If nothing else, you're going to get 100 pips.
I think it was going to come this. I just go over to where I think where market structure is, where price is, and see where that little plus sign. I do. And just you hit it and just add alert.
All right, do it slow for the people that don't know, and let them see your settings.
Okay, you see how you go over to price? Wherever you think, where you want to set your alert at via market structure.
Go down to your hour or your 4 hour. Go down to a lower time frame, because a daily, it could reverse at any time. Yeah. You see right there? If you look left, you see how many times it has reversed at this next level. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 times. If you make your little eclipse looking left, so show people why this next area is so important. Why we could get it at that point, as opposed to all the way down at the bottom. No, we're not setting buy limits. We're just setting alerts. I only do market execution. Now you see why if we could get just, another 20 pips and this thing finally break out to the upside. This is a very, very strong supply zone. Ray, he just covered setting alerts. Do you need him to do it again? And if you do not have the TradingView app on your cell phone, please install the TradingView app on your cell phone. That way, and sign into your account. You can create a free account and make sure that these alerts are coming to your cell phone.
And also, once you do subscribe, they can have it sent as via text message to you to let you know that an alert is coming.
Yes.
Yes.
And trust me, it will get on your nerves if you put it on the right alert. Oh, that was a beautiful head and shoulders leading to that descending channel.
Sure was.
Then you can actually set your alert on the MACD.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Show them how, if you wanted to put like let me share my screen 1 second, then I'll let you come back over. And I'll show you guys how I do mine. And there's no right or wrong way. Do what works best for you. Like me, if I wanted to know when this got down to this level, I could put my horizontal ray and you see my little tool comes up right over here. I hit alert, and you have your settings here. If you want it to beep only once per bar, I usually put once. If it's a real important trade that I really don't want to miss, I put once per minute. You can put notify on app, and it's going to notify you here on your computer and on the app on your phone. And you can set different sounds. You can make a message to yourself. It already tells you this is the default message, but you can make it, whatever you want it to do. You can go here and choose the sounds. And I have mine set to that, and you just click create. And it creates your alert. And all your alerts pop up over here. Whenever you want to get rid of the alert, you just click on it to delete it, and it's yes or no. Or you can go here to delete your horizontal array. And when you go to delete it, it tells you it has an alert. Do you want to remove it? And you click yes. All right, so there's several different ways you can set your alerts. Me, like I usually put one above price and one below price, especially if it's approaching an area where I want to see if this flag is going to break out to the upside or to the downside, or if I have entered this trade and I've moved my stop loss here, and I want to know if it's a couple pips before my stop loss, so I can look at the trade and see if I need to get out. I put alerts. So there's different reasons you can put alerts, but if you're tired of missing trades, start setting alerts. All right, any questions about that? So you can put one on the trend line. So you can click on your trend line. Again, your tool comes up here. Click on the alert symbol, make your settings, and create. Or there is an alert symbol up here. It looks like a clock. You click on that and just, you customize it to your personal settings, whatever you want. You can put it down here on the MACD for whenever it's crossing. Just play around with it. It's an awesome tool. Let's see what's in the chat. Okay. All right. I'll stop sharing and let you share again. Unless you have anything else to cover.
No, I'm good. Take over the wheel.
All right.
Thanks, Jamal. That was a really great explanation.
Thank you, Jay.
Great.
Appreciate it. You're welcome.
All right. Let me see. Are there any questions in the chat? Let me see who we got on.
Hey Jay, that was awesome, man. That now that's what I call sexy.
Yeah, that was a good clean markup. Thank you.
Very nice.
We learning from each other, because I'm learning a lot from
And,
everybody.
that's how we started ForexNChill. It used to be 3, 4, 5 of us would get on here and just start marking up together to learn together. And the next thing you know, it turned into 100 people some nights. So I have this one marked up. It is at my zone. If it breaks this, we're going to buy it. And if it rejects, we're going to sell it. So is there any specific pair or any specific questions? Anything else?
AUD USD.
Abraham, everybody always asks about that MACD. I just have it up there. It doesn't have the signals. It just shows it's in a buy or it's in a sell. And that's all I really look for it for the overall trend and how strong the momentum is. Like the lighter green is not as strong, and with the darker red is a stronger push. And you see here it had started getting a lighter red and it started pushing up. That's all. You said AUD USD?
Yeah, that's my problem, child.
All right. You see on the weekly what we have. And see, this is all, you don't even have to do all that marking. I'm so used to like not having anything on my charts that, I just look at this and I see that it is on a downtrend. I can put me a horizontal array here or a horizontal line to let me know right there that that's an important area. I can put me a horizontal array here. Let me know I could see a reversal at this price. Okay. So that's really all I need. And look at that. It had an impulse. It hit the trend line and respected it. And that's your weekly trend line. That means this was a big impulse and it rejected off the weekly trend line. So it was probably a weekly correction. But another way we know that this was going to fall down is this is an ascending channel. Okay? But since it's on the daily, what do you think we could do? Start looking for our sales on a lower time frame.
What is your settings for that first MACD that shows the trend?
I just leave default settings. So here you could have sold here, it pushed up again and sold here, and then you would have finally, when you sold from the top this time, you would have caught 648 pips, and that's on the 1 hour time frame. So that's why when you see these channels forming, box them up and take advantage of them. Okay. So that's what's happening on the AUD USD. I don't think it's going to go much lower because if you look at the weekly, it's at the bottom of this channel and it hasn't corrected in a long time. Last time it corrected was up here, and we got, look at all that pin action going on right there on the weekly. So it hasn't moved much in the last week at all. It's consolidated down to right there.
Gotta go somewhere.
Yep.
It's getting boxed in.
Yeah, it's really boxed in. And whenever something's boxed in, you get an impulsive break. Let's see. You had an impulse, you got a correction, you got a small continuation. But you look here, it's pushed up 1, 2, could come down and push up one more time, but it's not far because AUD doesn't move much. 80 pips. It could be 80 more pips before we see it go up because you don't have an impulse yet. You see how small these candles are?
Hey, that's fine for me. Hey, I'd be glad for that thing to get down that low.
Get a sniper.
If you look right here, yeah, if you tighten it up right there, see, you could start buying, start looking for buy opportunities. Now, when we say start looking to buy, you don't just buy. So let's box in this right here and see what would have been our indication to buy on a smaller time frame, okay? So we look to our 15-minute and lower to enter a trade. I should have done what I normally do. Hold on. What was the date on that, guys? Anybody remember? February 11th. So we go to our 15-minute. If you go to your bottom screen down here where it says go to, you can type in the date, February 11th, and click that and it took us right to it. All right. Take that off and zone in. So we had an impulse and a correction. Our MACD crossed up. So here we see it bounced off a few times, but our MACD had not crossed over and it wasn't bullish engulfing. Let's see how close we can get on there. All right, so does everybody see right here? Your MACD crossed over. You got a bullish engulfing, a correction, continuation. If you're new to market structure, the market moves 3 ways: impulse, impulse, correction, continuation. All right, so we got our impulse, correction, continuations, and corrections. So that's why we would have entered down here. We wouldn't have just entered because it had touched this market. We would have waited for our confirmation. You see this MACD had crossed over, this MACD had crossed over, and you had a bullish engulfing. So always write you a list of rules as to why you enter a trade. Don't just enter it because it is at a supply zone or demand zone. All right, does anybody have any questions about that?
So you think it's got an opportunity to get down to at least 7.707?
7054 is the zone. If we look at the 4 hour.
This pair is the devil.
You see this zone right here? No, USD Swiss franc is the devil.
No, this one is the devil.
No, this is the devil.
I'm sorry, y'all. This is the devil.
This is the devil.
Like right here, it could get here, but the last couple times it's bounced off here. Look here, here, Here,
I'll take
here,
it
here.
there. As long as it gets there, I will be very happy. I will throw this in the trash.
All right. Anybody want to cover anything else or any other pairs?
GK.
Quit trying to change your voice. I know it's you, Jamie.
Gold.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
y'all. Okay, y'all. We have to look at gold because I'm gonna tell y'all now. If you have never traded gold, what's about to happen next is gonna make your year. This is on the weekly. Do y'all know how many pips?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'm watching gold.
We got a teacup, and I don't even trade teacups. But I drew one on here so I can pour y'all a nice hot cup of tea tonight. Anybody want a cup of tea to the tune of about 1,400 pips?
Yep. Show
Yes, please.
up.
Yes, I'll
Gets
take
up there,
that.
it comes down here. Oh, 1,600 pips. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
1,600 is all right.
It could be hot or cold for 1,600.
A gold cup of tea. Everybody like that?
Yeah.
So, last time on here, I think we have Batman. Tonight, we got the golden cup of tea. So y'all watch for this. It's in a correction right now on the lower time frame. But as we see, it is due a correction. It was due a correction on a higher time frame. It broke this trend line.
Yep. Broke today.
We're expecting it to push up to our previous high. Right here is our first daily high, and it could push up on the higher time frame. So don't get in it too early. But look, you see what I was talking about trading zones? What if you sold here? Okay. Who would have liked 2,000 pips?
I would.
Who would have liked 2,100 pips? It didn't come up all the way that time, but when it rejected, that was 24. When it came up this time, it gave us 2,200 pips. When it came up this time, let's see, back over here. And that looks like a small cup of tea, doesn't it?
Big cup.
No,
I
big
guess it
dollar.
depends on your perspective. That's pretty big for me.
Oh, this is another one of my trades. Look at that, 1,900 pips the last time, guys. But guess what? If it breaks through, guess what? We could get to the next area. 1,400 pips. So either way, whether we get a confirmation to keep buying or a sell-off, we can get like 1,400 pips. But even if we bring this down, it could come to here before it sells off again. So either way, we're going to get a lot of pips. A nice cup of tea from gold in the next week or two.
All right, pour me some of those pips.
Pour me some pips, baby. What did you have for breakfast? I had pips. What did you have?
GG, make sure you got all your alerts set.
Oh, I'm gonna be alert. I sleep with my laptop some nights in my bed. I put my laptop. I got used to it in Afghanistan because I would sleep listening to like TD Jakes and different things. So I would have my laptop in my bed. Now it's like a habit. I'll fall asleep listening to training videos. But that's it, guys. That's gold. So what was the other one we were looking at, GCAS? So everybody set alerts on gold. Stalk it like you stalk a crazy ex, okay? Or like a crazy ex stalks you. GCAD, what do we have it in? It's creating a channel flag right here. And since we had an impulse and this is a correction, this one, because it moves so well, you could buy and sell this one. I ain't even gonna lie. Because look at that. 238 pips each way. So last night we were on here and we sold it here. And we had put it on like the 50 fib and it got down to here. And then it pushed back up and some of the people sold it again today. So that's why when you see these channels, take advantage of them. Look at this. Look at how many times you could have sold this and got those 200 pips. This time it didn't make it all the way back down. So you just keep selling it from the top. We need it to come back down to this trend line before it goes back up again. Or to either hit it and break to the downside. So this is a beautiful channel if y'all want to mark that up on your GCAD, and you can set alerts at each high and each low. Okay.
I cannot wait to break that bottom trend line at 1.66. Woo, that's gonna be beautiful.
If it breaks this and comes down to here, 500 pips. If it goes to the upside, you get 300 pips. I'll take either one. But let's look on the daily. The daily is telling us it's got more momentum to the upside right now. You see how these are getting higher? So we could see it push up to here. Then we catch the sell. Don't that sound sexier? Because if we catch it from up there to down here, then we get 800 pips. So I honestly want to see it hit this and then reject. So we're getting higher lows. As it goes up, you got a higher low, higher low, higher low each time.
Nice Brinks truck right there.
So we could get it to hit here. Y'all can always tell when I'm sitting on my couch being lazy, right? Because this happens every time. Get it hit there. And then from there, we want to see something like this right here. This is what I want to happen personally. That right there. That would be my trade. But this is the first pair I ever caught 400 pips on. I got in it on Thursday. When the market opened up on Sunday, I was up 400 pips and closed it. I should have held it because it went another 100 pips. But I want to see that. I want to see it go up there. You know what? I should have. Let me do this. I want to see this push to the upside. Goodness. I want to get it from here to here. That's more like it. I want to see something like that. Like that. Would you like that instead? Instead of for it just to drop? Get a couple more extra pips.
That works.
Go up and down, up and down.
I love channels. Boy, that thing gets up here and we sell and it breaks. We got 800 pips, y'all.
100.
That's gonna be lovely.
Like right here. Look at that.
Licking my
It dropped
chops.
1,100 pips.
Yeah, like I said, licking my chops right now.
Oh, happy day.
The GCAD's a good setup. EuroCAD is a good setup. And gold, oh my God. When gold starts pushing up, guys,
The
get in that
GCAD,
high and hold it till it fills the rim.
Yeah,
oh, happy day.
they're all beautiful. That GCAD correction has been going for a long time.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
due for
And
a
it's
drop.
paying us very well.
It's due for
Oh, happy day.
All right. This is American Idol. You're going to be all over YouTube singing. You know that, right?
Hey, good.
All right. Somebody was
Cut the
asking
rope.
about bounce back. Let's look at it. Hold on one second. I got notifications. See who's messaged me. Make sure everything's okay.
Hey, Jay Boogie, we need to go ahead and get us 11K week, man.
You right. We working on it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, these Friday nights and Mondays and Tuesdays and all these, they gonna pay off in the end.
Hey, hold on now. Just don't hold it to y'all two. Let me get in on that 11K week.
Yeah.
Hey, it's room for everybody, baby.
Tell you what,
All right, coach.
All right.
Want to make sure.
few of those weeks, you start telling the boss, good night, so long.
All right, bounce back. And this can be applied on any trade. There are only 3 rules. Now, me personally, I don't like looking at Hakanashi. I take it to my candles. I don't want to look at all this extra stuff. I just delete it off. I get rid of it. I go down to my 15-minute. We were looking for a buy, and yes, I caught this buy. Lord, what a glorious buy. Okay, so the first rule is go down to at least two lower time frames. It was on the 1 hour. I always usually just go to the 15-minute. If I can't get a good trend line, Then I'll go back to my higher time frame. I'm gonna clean this up, I promise y'all. That's why I like to just draw it on the higher time frame sometime. Gosh, I promise y'all one day I'm gonna have my mouse plugged in. So this happened. Let's just put our trend line here. So the 3 rules for bounce back are lower time frame, draw trend line, and MACD. I call it the Mac Daddy because I love it. Here you're gonna get a trend line rate. So I don't like that color. Let's get something we can see. That looks better. So you only got 3 rules you have to follow on MACD. So you go to a lower time frame. We watched for the trend line to break and the MACD to cross. I look for the MACD cross on the 5-minute, and because I know market structure, I apply, you know, some of my own rules. If we look at this, looking left, we could, you know, I always draw a horizontal ray and just throw it on here, and I go to my settings. This is extra step I take. They're telling us to enter at 1.30282. So that just gives me a general idea of where they're saying, and look at that, that's where it crossed the trend line. If you go to your 5-minute, your MACD has crossed. Because I know market structure, I got in on a lower time frame like we were talking about before with my confirmations. But this went up 40 pips from there, but I actually took it from the bottom. I think I got like 60 pips. So yeah, I got 60 pips on it. But that's all that bounce back is those 3 rules. You go to a lower time frame, draw a trend line and wait for the trend line to break and the MACD cross.
Okay, one quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Just go back up to the top of that trend line area that you just drew.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as for the sell, I can also catch that on the sell as well. At the top of that trend line.
If you're familiar with trend lines and you know it had reversed and you know how to trade it down.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And like I was saying, there are people that are using the bounce back rules. Let's look at SD. What moves good, guys? Let's just pick a random pair.
It ain't moving good. You want to go to another pair?
I know you're mad at USDJ.
Try GN or EN.
I like GN. That's one of my baby pairs. I love GBP and ZD.
UJ only good for binary.
Yeah, I was about to say, UJ ain't
Here's a
moving a
perfect
lot. I'm waiting on
example.
that.
You could have bought and look at your MACD. Okay, you had a buy, correction, continuation, continuation, correction, continuation. So each time it pulled back into the MACD, you could have had an entry there. This must be old because it's all off. But sometimes you'll see a lot of crazy stuff on my charts because I'm explaining stuff to people. Let me just take everything off. What about that? So yeah, if you draw a trend line from the bottom to the top, you just have all these impulses. And if you look at your MACD, every time you have a correction, you have a MACD pullback. And you can and each time it bounces off your trend line, you can use that for entry. You can even go to a lower time frame and get even more entries. So each time it pulled into your MACD, you could have entered here. You just had a longer flag. You could have entered here. You could have entered and all the way up. And this is a lot of pips. I'm gonna tell you that now. 600 pips. So if you look at this on a 4-hour, where did it go? If you're looking at that on the 4-hour, you're thinking, wow, 600 pips just happened out of nowhere and I never had a chance to get in, right? So that's why we do not enter on a higher time frame. So we enter on a lower time frame and we have multiple chances to catch those pips. So if you bought here, when it got here and you bought into the next one, you would put your stop loss right below each flag area as it goes up. So just say I bought here, it corrected. When it started pushing up, I'm gonna move my stop loss to below this. It corrected, started pushing up, I'm gonna move my stop loss to below this wick, and so forth. And you can have multiple entries, and you can also stack trades that way. A lot of our mentors who are 6- and 7-figure earners, what they do is when they enter the trade, they take a high lot size, and when they get a deep correction, just say you open this with 10 standard, you would cut it down to 1 standard and let that run 1 standard finish running. But you could put like a 0.25, a 0.25, a 0.25, and just keep stacking on the way up. But make sure you're moving your stop losses and taking off profit, because if you get up here and you've made $2,000 or $3,000 and you've moved all your stop losses up, then the rest is just, you know, free money. You're not giving anything back to the market if it takes it. You've already secured profits.
And you do that on market execution, right?
Yes, I do market execution.
Okay. So market execution, you're just basically following, you're moving your stop loss line as it goes.
Yes. If
Okay.
I bought here, once it finished its correction, I'm going to move my stop loss behind the correction.
Okay.
Up here, it finished the correction. I'm going to move my stop loss behind the correction, and so forth.
Okay.
Especially if it comes down to the trend line.
Now, Gigi, when you stacking trades, are you taking some from each trade?
Yeah, and
trade?
now remember, for those of you who don't know, you can go to my YouTube channel. I don't usually advertise it a lot, but I usually post these on there. And if you just type in either trade with Forex with Guinevere, or you can just do ForexNChill. And go to my channel. I did a whole video on that. Answer questions on taking profit and stacking trades. So there's like a 52-minute video on my channel for that. Like some people on my team had a question, so I just did a video about it to explain it and uploaded it so they'll always have it.
Okay, I check that out at work tomorrow.
But see, here you could have followed the bounce back. When it broke that trend line, you could have gotten in sooner, because this was a crazy wicked drop. You see where it crossed here to the downside on this MACD? If you had simply gotten in there when it crossed to the downside, you would be up 146 pips. Because you could have, now on the 5-minute, and since we had an aggressive push here, you could have drawn a trend line like this. And if you look, that lines up perfectly with right here where it crossed. Let's move it back a little bit. It crossed and broke at the same time. You see that? So you could have gotten in that, and you'd have been up 145 pips just on a 5-minute trend line break and a MACD cross. And see, we had our correction. Now it's going back to the downside. So this trade right here, sitting where it is, whew, if it comes all the way back down, ay Dios míos. Still got
Exactly. And
400 pips to go, y'all.
And GM moves quick.
It moves fast. This pair moves fast. Fast and furious. I love
it would take you right out when you're not looking.
Yeah, sure will. You gotta baby this pair.
But that's where you can set your alerts at too, when you like.
True.
Take profits, so you can go check things out.
All right. Anybody have any questions on anything else? I was trying to think of the different things I wanted to cover. Anything y'all have questions about that you want to cover?
Yeah, I got one question.
Mm-hmm.
So Other than like MACD, what other momentum indicators are good to use?
The only one I use is the MACD, and I also use the 9 and 50 EMA. So if we want to look at the 9 and 50 EMA in conjunction with that stuff, if you see when this broke, the 9 and 50 EMA broke. So now I got my MACDs have crossed, my trend line is broken, and my EMAs have crossed. Sexy, right? That's so sexy.
Yeah, I almost forgot about EMA. But so other than those two, there's not really that much.
I mean, other people use like the RSI, the stochastic, but when I find one that works, I mean, I'm good. I'm
If it
solid on
ain't
the
broke,
MACD.
don't fix it.
Yeah, I'm solid on. I don't like a bunch of stuff. I like trading off market structure. I like to be able to delete everything. That's why this N, oh yes, for those of you who don't know how to create templates, I'm gonna show you what those are. The 9 brings up my 9 and 50. The B brings up the bounce back, which I don't use. I just put it on there to try it. N brings up naked trading. This has got my different EMAs. And this right here is like for my flags or my pullbacks, which I don't use much. It's just different things I've tried. And so I created templates for them. So if I want to look at everything gone, I do this. I created a template, and the way you create a template is you put everything that you want on here. You click template and put save template indicator and blah, 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 and then save it. If you want it to always come to a certain time frame, you click that. All right. Now to get it up here, I just go to my indicators, and like if I wanted to add the cloud to my favorites, I will put the star up there, and it's probably hidden behind something because I have so much stuff up here now. But it would add it to the top.
You have your toolbar at the top.
Yeah, is that what it is over it? Can I slide this over? You know, sometimes I have blonde moments. Did I put, I'll take it off. Where did it go? No, I don't want to delete it. I just want to take the star off.
Yeah, you just made it a favorite. I don't think you added it.
Yeah, it went up there.
Oh, okay.
It slides over somehow because I just saw it. Because you know, Wave Trader has about what, 15 of them up here. There's some way that you can slide this over. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But I don't want to add another one. But like if I wanted to look at the cloud, I just hit the cloud and it comes on there. And then if I wanted to switch it to naked, just do that. If I wanted to switch it to my 9 and 50, just do that. Bollinger Bands, just do that. So you're not all over the place, okay? If I want to look at gold and I want to look at it with all my crazy drawings on it, if you go to your left, you see the eye. You click the eye and it hides everything. Now I can just look at my naked chart. And I can see if you had bought gold on this trend line going up, it would be a beautiful. Now, if I start drawing on it again, it's going to bring it back. But like this trend line here, let's just take this one where it pulled back. It'll be right there. So that would have been a beautiful trend line for somebody to be using to trade gold. Look at that. So it could continue selling down to here and then go back up. So yeah, to take off any of your drawings, if you want to see a naked chart, because sometimes I like to just look at it and see what it's doing. I do that. I hit the eyeball. I've been planning on doing just a video on TradingView because there's so much stuff you can do. All right, let me delete all this.
I would really appreciate that, Gigi.
You're welcome. I'm going to get around to doing it. I've had my grandkids here the last week, and it's hard to record with them here because they love to play. This is my view of USD CAD. And remember how I said I like channels? Since we're on the weekly, how many pips do you think's inside each channel? So if you sold from the top and bought from the bottom each time, 600 pips.
I have a lot to learn. I thought it would be about 100, 600. Wow.
I was looking at it on the weekly. And so you could come here and each time it was up here, start looking for sale opportunities. And because usually I don't buy and sell a channel, but because there's so many pips in this one, you'd be crazy not to buy it and sell it.
How many pips is that in the channel, if you don't mind?
From top to bottom, 631.
Woo.
From this one to this one, 560. This one to here was 582. Now, here's something even crazier. If you had went down to a smaller time frame, look at these channels that it had created a channel here. And so we were waiting. You're waiting for your entry. When it came up here and when it crossed that MACD, what happened? You got your continuation to the downside. See how beautiful the MACD is? Look at this right here. On the 4 hour, it lets you know that that uptrend was over. And look at this. Finally got your break. See here, I wouldn't have been selling it from the top because it was still in a sell. Here, when it went to the buy and pulled back in, here and here, look what happened. So the MACD will help you with your entries and help you know when a flag is over. Now y'all see why I call it the Mac Daddy.
With them kind of pips, he can be called whatever he wants.
And another thing here, it was in a straight put. Everybody was looking for it to sell here. But if you look at your MACD was telling you not to sell yet. It came down a little bit this time, but here on the top one, it just pushed right back up. And look at that. When it got here and crossed over, what happened? So who's going to put the MACD on their charts? Look at that.
How many pips was that from the top to current price?
Probably about 600-700, I guess.
It dropped 590 and it's pulled up right now to 530. So just using your MACD on the 4 hour right there, you wouldn't have gotten in too early. And you would have caught over 500 pip caught. Oh God, I just made up a word. Can we delete this from the But see here, everybody kept selling, and I'm not even gonna lie. I was one of the people that got in here and sold too early and got kicked out. I mean, but we were still getting, look at that, 90 pips each way. What did I tell you about channels? Wow. So even though we knew, and this was before I knew how awesome the MACD was. So selling here, we were getting like 80, 90 pips each time because we were waiting on this. So in the smaller channels, don't buy against the trend. So we were looking for an overall sell to happen at any time. And we see with the MACD, it happened right here. As soon as it crossed here and you got that blood red, boom, shaka, laka, laka. All right. I love the MACD. You can find examples like that all day with the MACD. You can go back and back test it tonight. Here, when it crossed over here, we got our sell off. From here down to here, 540 pips.
What settings do you have for your MACD?
Default, didn't change a thing.
For both of them?
Mm-hmm. Here, you could have, when it pulled over and crossed over, you would have had your re-entry. Pulled up and crossed over, you could have got a re-entry. Here, you could have gotten a re-entry. Okay. Start looking for channels and MACD crosses. Now, the MACD cross, when these are over on the higher time frame, is on the 4 hour. When you got these big pushes that are going for like 100 pips, like the EuroCAD was. You see it's still in the overall sell. It pulled back and it sold off again, pulled back, sold off again. That's why this is stronger right now than this, but you see it's getting smaller, it's getting weaker. So we're finally going to see this again. And the last time this happened, we got 743 pips. Is that good? Everybody could deal with that?
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
If you get nothing else, you're going to get 120. Like if it buys up now, let me go ahead and fix my, and I do have alerts. You see my alert right there on this bad boy. It broke it today. And I came and looked. I'm like, well, it's not ready yet. So as long as it's going down, I'm buying from the bottom.
Easy. Is it possible to set alert on the 9 and 50 cross? Is that possible?
I thought about that the other day, and I kept saying I was going to try it. I haven't looked into that yet.
Okay. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
You can. I just don't know how to do it, but one of the educators, she does that. Lee Allen.
Okay.
Let me try something. 950. Alert. Not giving me. I'll have to go watch her on IML TV and see. Mission EuroCAD. Yeah, I'll research that and see. You know, usually when you tell me something, I'll look for it.
If you try clicking on that, the value, because I think I've set it up before
On
too.
this?
No, back where you were at. Yeah, click on that. And where's the value drop down?
Yeah, it's got the MACD. I saw the MACD in there.
Okay, so try clicking on the actual EMAs, and then right click to add an
indicator.
Or,
Yeah, we'll figure it out. If it's able to be done, we'll definitely figure it out. All right, anybody else got any other questions? The person that was supposed to be on tonight, I saw where they had him somewhere presenting tonight with iMarketsLive. It was Nez was supposed to be on with us tonight. Does anybody follow Nez? Anybody know who Nez is?
Yeah, he's cool.
Y'all better learn.
I follow him on IG.
I know I have a new trader on here who's been following Nez and making a lot of money. He joined iMarketsLive for the binary options. Nez has made almost $2 million in under 2 years. And he's documented it live. It's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and it's real accounts. It's no demo trading. So if you're interested in binary options, he does have a Telegram that you're allowed to be a part of. So in addition to IML TV, on the weekends he will do a Zoom and he'll trade binary options on, it's called People in Profit. Binary options, Joshua, do you want to tell everyone what binary options is about? Because I know you're my only binary options trader right now. And for those of you who are interested in it or already trading it, if you use the web analyzer, they have created a scanner that spits out signals for the web analyzer, and there's a YouTube or a video of Nez testing it and making money. But Josh, are you still on here?
Yeah, I'm on here.
Explain to the good people what binary options are and the earning potential.
I mean, binary options it's just kind of like a simplistic form of Forex. I mean, you're really just either saying that the price set is going to be above what you think at a certain entry or below. So it's pretty much going to be like an option, put or sell. So you
And
go in different
pipettes.
Yeah, so you're going in like really small. I mean, you can win by 0.00001, and A win is a win. So if it's above it at the end of your time, you win. If it's below it, then you'll lose. But the thing is, the money that you put in, say you put in $10 and it's an 80% payout for that pair, then that'll be $8 that you can win. If you lose it, you just lose the $10 you put in. I mean, you don't win. You don't lose $10 plus what the potential was. So it's kind of simple. So you don't have to really calculate how much you're gonna make or how many pips and this and that. I mean, it's just a simple. This is what the pair is. This is what it's paying, and then you just pick your time and you look for an entry and get in.
The way I describe it, just from the little bit I've seen, and I'm no binary guru or anything, but it's like scalping on steroids mixed with a slot machine. So you're basically betting $10 to win $8 that it's going to sell. And if you're even just a pipette right, you win the whole $8. And like he made $87,000 live the other night on one trade. Is that how much he made?
Yeah, I think that was we might have did a 10-minute trade for that one, or it might have been a 3-minute, but
I don't
most
care.
of the time,
I don't care if it was 3 days. $87,000.
yeah, most of the time we're doing 3-minute trades. So
Yeah, if you're interested in binary options, we have the beast in IML TV. Binary options, one of my friends was interested in options, and he went to a seminar in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And after a couple of days of enticing them and showing them all the money, because there is a lot of money to be made, they told him it was $5,000 down, and the total program was $25,000. They didn't teach you how to trade. They were providing you signals. So if you want to learn binary options and you're not in iMarketsLive, we have one of the top traders. I mean, how many people do you know that have made almost, I looked at one of his accounts the other day was like $1.7 million, and he's been doing this less than 2 years. So he'll be at $2 million before you know it. You can go to his Facebook page and it shows him live when he hit $1 million in that account, and that was just a few weeks ago, and he's already at 1.7 million. And you can follow him on Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff. This is him, a young guy, and he's like crazy.
So Mondays he does his training, and then Tuesdays and Wednesdays you can trade with him.
I'll play just a second of this. This is when he hit $1 million live. I'm gonna take it to, he was trading live. Here we go.
Let's go! Yeah! Woo! Let's go! My man just became a millionaire! Let's go! Let's go!
Now, can you imagine a moment like that? Hitting $1 million in a year and a half? And you get this for, I mean, $200. If I wanted to learn to trade binary options, I would definitely join iMarketsLive, because like I said, and I'm not trying to sign anybody up. I'm just trying to tell you, if you want to make money and that's how you want to make it, this is the cheapest you're going to find, because my friend honestly was told it would cost them $25,000 to learn that skill set. But okay.
Especially with the new web analyzer tool.
Oh yeah, and you'll see if you go to Nez's YouTube, he plays the web analyzer. And who trades US 30? Do we have any US 30 people on here? I know you still on here, Eric?
Yeah, I'm still on here.
You want to share your screen and tell everybody how well you've been doing with the US 30? Y'all, this guy's been in iMarketsLive for like a month, and he's made over 1,000% profit on his account. So I'm gonna stop sharing. You want to share are you in a position to share your screen? I froze up. Is everybody still there? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. He's killing the market with the US 30. And if you know market structure, US 30 is easy to trade. And you can trade it using the MACD as well. But the web analyzer is coming out Just like they came out with a scanner for the binary options, they're coming out with a scanner for US 30 to tell you when to buy and when to sell.
It won't let me share.
Oh, because I'm sharing. Let me stop. All right, I stopped. Now you can share. But
Wait
this
a
is
minute,
Eric.
Gigi.
He's
Say that
from.
again.
This is
Say that
Eric.
again.
Hold on one second. This is
What's
Eric
that?
from my hometown. He's a new trader, and he's grown his account by over 1,000%, mostly off US 30. But the web analyzer with iMarketsLive, the guy who develops all the scanners, he told me the other day he's developing something for US 30 to get trade alerts for it.
Okay, I don't need these. So, if we're looking at
that MACD thing we were testing.
oh yeah,
later.
I like it though. I was looking at it earlier. I was
I'm
like,
gonna see if we need to change some settings, and if it works, I'll show it.
yeah,
I don't want anybody to lose any money off anything. We're just testing right now.
yeah, that is true. So I'm gonna go back to the month. If we look at the month, it's not really gonna show us very much. Let me reset this. Yeah, because I was looking back at a period where it actually shows for where we're at right now in the market. And the week is not showing that either. I wonder.
This pair has moved so.
Okay. Yeah, it moves so fast that and it's so volatile. It's ridiculous. So we're right now at a point to where we're in the market and it's getting ready to turn. So look for, right now it's testing the last high, and then it could test this high, but I doubt it will. And what I was looking at earlier on the 5 minute, it's building an ascending channel on 5 minute. And we know what happens on an ascending channel. Yeah. We're getting ready to turn in the market. It's getting ready to drop. I don't see it going any higher than here.
Hey, pull up your MACD and
Yeah.
See if we have any indications going on there. So yeah, start looking for sales. If you're in a buy, I would start looking for exit strategy on this thing.
Yeah, because it's getting ready to it's just coming now through the sell on the MACD on the 5 minute. But Jamie loves the 3 minute. So what the 3 minute saying is it is getting ready to turn and drop.
And see, it's already rejected off that area a couple times.
Yeah. And I'm for US 30, I'm a 1 minute person because it is so volatile. It will move on you. And guess what it's getting ready to do on the 1 minute? It's getting ready to cross the MACD, but it's not a strong cross. So it may even hover around.
It'll probably reject and make a lower high.
Yeah. So it's going to hang around that 26,034 for a little bit longer. It'll probably another week because look at on the 15 minute. It took all this here was done over less than a week. This is half week. And see, it rejected 1, 2. It went above it there. So 3, 1, 2, and this is the third time it's going to reject off this. Looking at the fourth time rejection, it will drop. And you want to be in the market at that time for US 30, because if we go to the 1 hour, if we even come down to this zone, we're looking at 1,700 pips, US 30 at 0.1, 0.01. is all you're going to trade on this. Don't go any higher because you will blow your account in about 2 minutes if it decides. If you're still in a buy and you don't notice it in 1-2 minutes, if you got an $800 account, you don't have an $800 account anymore. That's how volatile US30 is. In a channel that is 40 pips, you're making $150, $200 each turn on 0.01. That kills any other pair. So if we drop, if you you're looking at close to what I said, it was 1,700. You're gonna hit it. You might hit 5 figures, close to it, on one trade.
Ooh.
And that's with a 0.01 lot
Zero,
size.
0.01 lot size is not a normal lot size.
Yeah, that US 30.
Please do not look at it as you're in a normal pair.
Yeah, this is not
with
a
a
forex pair at all.
0.01.
This is an index.
Yes.
It's
This is
the top 30 pair. Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually the evil twin brother of Dow 30. So this is actually Dow 30 and Forex is all it is. Because if you look here, if I look it up.
And Eric, you don't have to tell them how much money you've made, but have you made a lot of money trading this?
Yes, I have.
A lot. Y'all, I'm telling you, I see him hitting 6 figures before his 6 months are up. Our mentor hit 6 figures in like 7 months, and I definitely see Eric doing it.
So that's US 30. And one of these, which one was it, Jamie, that showed US 30 is
Yeah, if you pull this up, make sure it lines
Wall
up
Street.
what's on your MP4.
It's the Wall Street 30, which is not Forex. It's actually it is the stock market, and it acts like the stock market too. If because if you any of you can research if the top 30 companies in the United States is all it is, and if those, we researched it the other night, me and Jamie, the top out of the 30, 28 of them were in green profit, and there was only 2 that was in red, and this thing has been going up ever since. So if the stock market crashes, it's going with it.
Yeah, I was told you had to at least have a $1,500 account, at least.
No, not on
You just you need to know how to trade.
Yeah, on Hugo's Way, $400 you can trade at a
okay.
0.01, but you
okay.
can lose your $400.
Is that the broker you're using? Hugo's Way?
Yes.
Are the pips on the penny?
The pips on there are on the penny.
Okay, thank you.
So, but you can lose, like I said, you can lose everything, and so do yourself a favor and trade off of a separate account other than your normal account. Because if you blow your normal account, you're gonna be upset. If you blow $400 in this account, you may be okay, and it may not hurt you as bad.
Right, exactly.
So do not.
I would definitely demo it.
Yeah, do not trade in this.
Yeah, that's what I plan to do today.
And not because, even if you are a good trader, you still want to see how volatile this is.
When I got in that channel on this one, like I said, it was only like 40 pips, and I was trading it both ways because I was making some good money that day just trading it both ways, and then it was back on Where's my day at? It's gone. Oh, there it is.
Hey, sorry to break you up. Jamie, Eric, when do you guys normally look at this pair so I can see if I can hop in with you?
Well, we looked at it earlier today. So and we usually me and Jamie will talk about it if he calls me, because he was trying to run divergence on it. I think it was last weekend. He was trying to run divergence on it.
Ultimate failure. Ultimate failure. Ultimate failure.
Divergence does not work on this because it's not a pair.
That's
Yeah, so it's not being traded against anything.
Anything, yeah.
Divergence.
And so you can't run divergence on it. So don't even try that one.
Please don't.
Yeah. Yeah, Jamie.
This is not your ordinary pair.
No. This was it the 15th? It was the 15th right here.
Yeah, that was it right there. Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
the one. I think I got in it on the 12th and went to the 15th. And I didn't trade. I don't trade 0.01 on it. I'm sorry.
Anymore.
Anymore. I'm kind of stingy, and I like stuff. And so I traded a little bit higher. The first time I traded on it was like 0.05, and then jumped over to 0.02 here. And so I made some good money, because that's 400 right there.
What was the expression you told me enough to pay the wise car payment?
For 6 months.
This
And
guy's been trading a month, you guys. So
and
y'all
my
can
wife
do this.
doesn't have a cheap car.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
And he started with $400.
Yeah. And I've made a withdrawal twice. So
So y'all can do this. It's, you know what? Everybody on here has the skill set to do this. It's the mindset that most of us need to work on. You know, most people have the skill set to do anything in life. It's the mindset that you have to align with the skill set. So if you're sitting here thinking, oh, there's no way I could make 5 or 6 figures in the next year, then you're not going to make it. You have to tell yourself, if this dude up here, this guy talking right now can do this, I can do it. Not picking on Eric, which you have to say, if this country boy here can do this.
Yeah. And I live in the middle of the country, about 600 acres. So this right here, Stephen Lindor actually called it out. That's the reason I was watching it. He called it out on the 12th. He looked on no, not the 12th.
Was it on
the
IML
10th,
TV or
the 10th? No, on IML TV on the 10th he called it out, and I started watching it, and so that's when it broke right there. And that's when I started, because I had got this one here the week before off of Kim's channel, and then I got this one here off of his channel. Just marked it up and watched for it and waited for it.
Yeah, if you want to, Kim on IML TV, the Forex chick, she trades a lot, so you can watch her on IML TV as well.
And I'm just watching and trying to learn what they're learning to see what I need to be watching for. And so, and that's the way I'm starting to learn it.
Eric, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you set your stop loss for this one?
Very close. I said it 10 pips.
Okay, so
this thing has 2 directions, up or down.
Up or down. 10 pips. 10 pips is around $100.
You mean $10 or 10 pips?
No, 10 pips is $100. It could disappear that fast with 10 pips.
And he's using Hugo's way as a broker, guys.
Now that's not it. Now that's not at 0. That's not at 0.01. Remember, I'm not trading 0.01.
Gotcha.
0.01, you're about between $25 and $50 somewhere in there.
Gotcha.
But I'm not trading at 0.01.
US 30 will make millionaires. Learn to trade it. Learn to trade it, and don't be greedy.
Get out.
Take your money and live to trade another day.
Take your 30 pips and run.
For real.
Don't be trying to hang on there like, oh,
Unless
it's
you
gonna.
have a huge, you know what, account. I can't say the word because my grandkids might watch this on YouTube one day.
You will be broke.
And then you'll be mad at Forex. Like, Forex stole my money. No, you were greedy.
It wasn't Forex's fault.
If you lose money in Forex, it's not Forex's fault. It's because either you didn't use a stop loss, or you started trading and gambling without learning the skill set, or you followed somebody said, hey, I'm buying Euro USD, so you jumped in and bought it without marking up the chart or looking at it. Or you're following about 50 groups and one person saying sell it, one person saying buy it, and you just jumping in the market. So Forex will take care of you and your family for a long, long time if you become a responsible trader.
See, because
Forex
right now
creates wealth.
Right now it dropped below the trend line on the 1 minute. I'll mark on the 1 minute for this pair. It dropped below trend line and then now it's retesting. So we'll see what it'll do here. But like I said, I don't expect it to go too much higher. Maybe to the next resistance. And that's about it. And it's getting ready to, because this is a ascending channel. What happens on an ascending channel?
Drops.
We say goodbye. And it does this.
If it does that, call the bank.
Yeah, because I want to make a withdrawal.
You know what, y'all? This is gonna sound funny. I used to buy lottery tickets until I started trading Forex, and now I'm like,
Man,
I haven't bought a lottery ticket in a long time. This is the lottery, guys. You learn to trade US 30. This is the lottery.
But it's like
I'm
Kim
over here buying lottery tickets, hoping I hit for them Mega Millions. And then,
Kim and her partner, only the guy who be's on there with her, all they trade is US 30.
Kevin Serrano, yeah.
Yes.
He's got an IML channel too. Yeah, guys, they are like they've been milking this thing like they quit even looking. They call out trades for everybody else, but they're just so focused on US 30 and the money they're making is crazy.
Now she'll do her channel, and she'll call out all trades. She does like Lindor does. She'll go through the different trades, and she'll call what the trades are going to do. But her main focus is US 30.
And you say you mark that up on the 1 minute?
That's the 1 minute.
How do you mark it up though? Is what I'm asking.
Like any other time frame.
Like I'll mark them up on the higher time frame.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll come. I did it earlier today, but I just came straight to the 1 minute. I'll actually mark it up on the. I'll start with the monthly, the weekly, because the most important are monthly, weekly, and daily. And then I'll usually jump to the 1 hour, and then I'll go to 15, and then I'll go to 1, because it moves so fast that 3, you could be at the bottom of the channel in 3 minutes.
Let me explain some things to a couple of people, just in case they don't know. If you look over to the right where it shows the price 26,000, that's like 26,000 to the US dollar. That's why it's 26,000 times more volatile than. I pull up USD CAD, and then we'll come back to this. I just want people to understand why it's so volatile.
Oh yeah, that price is so high.
Right.
It's thousands of times higher than Forex pairs.
If you look at USD CAD, the current price right now is a 1.31, $1.31 to the dollar. So do you see the difference in $1.31 versus $26,000?
Yeah, and that's the reason it trades so.
Remember when Bitcoin was $20,000, it moved just like US 30. Now Bitcoin doesn't move that fast.
And I don't ever see US 30 ever slowing down.
No, anytime we have any volatility in the stock market, there's going to be volatility. And we know that's all day, every day. Well, Monday through Friday.
Yep. Oh, and on the hours on this one, is it just the stock market hours? Or is it
no, it has it runs through the whole Forex session, but Forex starts at 5 on Sundays. This will not start until 6. And it always closes an hour early before the Forex market closes. So it'll close at 4 on Friday. So it stays open all the way except for 2 hours, just minus 2 hours. One on the front, one on the end.
Thank you for that.
And if you look during the week, during in between sessions, like before the Asian session, before the New York session, before the European session, it shuts down an hour. So it'll shut down at 5 to 6. For that 1 hour, you won't see any movement. It'll just die.
Like gold. Yeah.
Yeah, it does the same thing. It shuts down. And I don't know. I think it's just because they're U.S. pairs.
You know what? This is what's really amazing, right? This was a ragtag group, and I don't want anybody to take offense to what I'm saying. All right, but this is a ragtag group that was looking for something big, looking for a shot at the title. And we got people here that's busting moves on binary options. We got people here that's coming in and knocking things out with US 30. I mean, you got a super duper trainer, Gigi. You got Jamal coming up in here boxing in the dang market like he Mike Tyson. I mean, I have never seen in the year and 2 months of being in Forex, and things have changed like in 60 days as much as I've ever seen here with this group. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. In my opinion, hands down, this right here is the best of the best, and there's no reason that everybody on this call can't make 6 figures by December 31st, 2019.
Woo! Who's gonna make 6 figures by December 31st?
I
Hey,
claim it.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
will.
yes.
I will.
Doing
Get it.
it. I hear you.
Me.
Amen to
Hey,
that.
I got one more question for y'all. How much did this training cost y'all tonight?
Not a
Zero.
Zero.
Just some time.
Thank you,
Time.
Gigi.
Time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing but time, and I appreciate it, Gigi.
You're
It's the
welcome.
invested time, team. It's the
Thank
invested
you.
time.
Yeah, our team is always trading together, making money together, bouncing ideas off each other. Like last night we got on here and we broke it down to the 1 minute time frame, got in a trade, 2 pips stop loss, and made 121 pips, y'all. So if you're on a team and your team is not trading together, I encourage y'all, just find somebody on your team that's passionate about trading and learn together. The more we do this, the more we learn.
A lot of times when Gigi, because she has classes, she has sessions all week long. This is just one she has on Friday, but there's always mini sessions all throughout the week, so you get extra time to learn.
Yes, we'll just be like, hey, let's jump on the trade.
Yeah. And I mean, like at 2:30 during the day, and I'm like, dang on it, I'm at work. But luckily, I'm sitting at a desk, so I'll just put my microphone and headset on one side, just listen. I won't ever say anything. So whenever you can get on.
Yeah, if you guys want to learn to trade, just find somebody who has the same passion for trading, because this will change your life. You have a good, respectable job, you go to work, you pay your bills, you do everything by the book. You will never create wealth clocking in for somebody else. The only way you're going to create wealth for you and your family is to be an investor or an entrepreneur, okay? Wealthy people, and that was my status today, wealthy people do not teach their children to fill out a job application. They teach them to build portfolios. They teach them to invest. They teach them to create wealth for their families. And that's what you guys need to be doing for your children and for your grandchildren, okay? Because if they have to go through, here I am, God. See, I usually don't say this out loud, but I'm 51. Yes, I look 35. Thank you very much. But I was a single mother, and I had to put all of my life and all of my resources into giving my child the best. So I didn't have time to prepare, to invest, to be an entrepreneur, because I put everything aside for everyone else. Thank you, Alicia. But now I have found something that can change my life. I can change my daughter's life. I can change my grandchildren's life. And I'm changing the lives of those around me. My brother, if he's still on here, he's made 6 figures trading because I begged him to learn Forex. And it didn't, when you grasp this, just introduce it to other people. When I tell my people to bring people into IML, it's not because I want a residual income. It's because I'm all about changing lives. The community that I live in is a very poor Native American community. We are listed as the poorest county in America. Most of our children are selling drugs and killing each other. Most of the people grew up cropping tobacco, picking cotton, working in factories. And this has been hard to get people in my community to become traders because all they've known all their lives is busting their back, breaking their back, making somebody else rich, you know, getting dirt under their fingernails. And this is a new concept to them. So people see this and they're like, it's a scam. There's no way somebody with bad credit, been in prison, criminal record, no education. You can be a high school dropout and be a Forex millionaire. Okay. I have a friend who pulled 9 years in prison. He makes 6 figures trading Forex. Okay. I don't care how old you are. We have a gentleman on here. Love him to death. He's my sweetheart. He's 80 years old. We have some people on here I know that are 18 and 19 years old. We have people black, white, Native American, Asian, Spanish, straight, gay, Christian, Muslim, whatever. You can trade Forex and nobody can stop you. The only person stopping you from making 6 figures by December 31st is you. And it's not going to be somebody else telling you you can't do it. It's going to be you letting people put it in your head that you can't do it. You can be a 6-figure earner before December 31st. I know Eric's going to be, and I plan on being there with him. I mean, so it's up to you guys. It's midnight. We usually stop recording, and if anybody wants to stay on, we stay on. But I'm going to stop the recording unless there's some questions you guys want answered on the recording, so it will be a part of the record.
You know,
Anybody got any questions? You can unmute yourself and ask.
Gigi, what other nights during the week besides Clint and everyone else recording or Zoom? Are there any other nights besides Friday that you guys do a Zoom?
You know, we do it random. It's usually unplanned.
Okay.
Because we just have such varying schedules. And if somebody on my team has something they really want answered, I'll give everybody opportunity to get on in case they have the same question.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. And if there's anything y'all want me to do like a video on, I know I've been telling myself to do a Trading View video because there's a lot of stuff on Trading View that people don't know that can make your life easier, just like setting the alerts, saving the templates, different things like that, the different tools.
Yeah, that would help out a lot.
Yeah, now that I'm here, the grandkids just left, so I have it's quiet. I can do a video. I'll probably do that tomorrow and upload it. This one will be on YouTube tomorrow. On Friday nights, whenever this is over, I usually I forget all about Forex and binge watch TV all night. It's like the only night I turn on my TV. And I do that just to take my brain off of Forex because everybody should take a break away from Forex. All right. Anybody got any questions about anything? Thank you, Ray.
I just want to say thanks to everyone who participated today, both the people who shared their screens and also the participants who are asking questions. It's really important that we communicate in this way, and that's why this group is so fantastic. Thank you again.
Thank you, Grant. Thank you for always helping out. Is there anything that anybody is having trouble with? The MACD should cover entries, and it should also help you with your exit. You can look on the 4-hour trend usually to know when it's over, and the 15-minute and 5-minute to know when to get in. Because I know a lot of people ask about entries and exits. The MACD will be your best friend when it comes to entries and exits. And if you want to do the bounce back, it's just 3 rules. Trend line breaks, MACD crosses, and that's it, guys. It's that simple. And a lot of people are using that to trade and doing really well. Any other questions? Thank you guys for all the beautiful comments.
All right, Gigi. Hey, just thanks again. Like I said, I'm still new at a couple of things here, but I'm gonna start doing to be the bounce back and trade, and I'll get with you.
Yeah, is Kathleen on here tonight? She caught 500 pips last week on bounce back trades.
I haven't heard her tonight. Usually she'll talk.
Yeah, and is
She
it
was on here earlier.
Dan caught 262 pips, and Dan was like, I think he said he had been in iMarketsLive for like a year, and he had never really been able to do much but the bounce back and then the training. That he said even with the trades he lost, he walked away with 262 pips. So if you got the extra $15, trust me, like Cynthia in our group, she took one trade. Frankie, yes, you can use the MACD on US 30. The MACD is just for letting you know when the move is either to the bullish side or the bearish side and the momentum in the market. And yeah, Cynthia took one trade on bounce back, and she said she paid her monthly subscription off that one trade. Maybe next week we can cover risk management. Like Eric was saying, it's you need to know. I usually upload that spreadsheet. Does everybody have that spreadsheet? I usually upload it. Let me pull it up on my computer.
I can pull it up if you need me to.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you got it, and if you can upload it in the chat, if it'll let you pull it up and show it to people. And actually, I was on one of Kim's Zooms, and Mike Navarrete, he's a really good IML educator.
Which one is it? The profit calculator?
No.
Gigi, stop the recording, please.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Just go.
Trading something. Hold on, let me look for it.
That's the profit calculator. That's what I was thinking about.
Trading Made Simple is the name of it. It's an Excel spreadsheet.
I've seen it somewhere, but that's the profit one there.
Okay, I'm gonna pull mine up and see if you have this
recording, Gigi. At the top left.
Yeah, I'm still recording.
Oh, okay.
Did you not want this recorded for some reason?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm sorry. Somebody said stop the recording. I'm sorry, my fault.
Okay, I'm gonna share this real quick. He put this out on he put this out and gave it to the public. It gives you instructions. You guys see this?
I have that one. I just don't know where I put it.
Okay, he gives you instructions.
It's just to protect you, Gigi. It's just to protect you, Gigi.
Disclaimer, I am not a professional, whatever it is. Y'all lose money, that's y'all's fault. I am just a Forex student, and y'all are students hanging out with me. All right, here is just the trader's constitution, risk management goals and results. You would put like your weekly goals as far as pip size. Like if you wanted to catch 100 pips this week, and your account balance you started with was $500, it would just calculate the lot size that you would need to trade at. Okay.
Yeah, I need that. Please send that.
And like there's a pip tracker, you can put how many pips. And an IML educator, Mike Navarrete, he uploaded this and allowed us all to use it. So this is a very good tool to have.
Yeah, please share that.
All right.
You need to go over how you use it.
And then trading plan confirmation. Like you can put in your ideal setup. You can put like we had, break the trend line, cross the MACD, look for divergence, engulfing, blah, 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 blah. All right.
Ooh, I need that.
BG, I sent it to you on Telegram if you want to share it.
There's a way can you upload it? Your co-host, you should be able to upload it in the chat. Because the last time I just uploaded it. Oh, yeah, you can upload it in the chat.
All right, let me try.
I just found it. I knew I had it.
All right. Let me go back to. All right. Does anybody need to cover anything else? Y'all use that. I don't care if you share it. It's not mine. It was given to me. It was given to a lot of other people. So it's not like he was like, oh, don't ever share this with anybody. He was like, here, take this and use it. He's a young guy. He's a great trader. I think he uses Fibonacci and waves and different things. He's very technical. You can follow him on Facebook, Instagram. He's got a Telegram. I can't remember the name of his Telegram. Goodness. Y'all ignore these telegrams because I don't follow them all. This is Terrell that was on here before. Did everybody get his Telegram channel? He said to share it with everybody and to share his
No, I didn't get his Telegram channel.
He's growing a YouTube base. Here's his Telegram. Okay, Grant, I'll try to upload it. Everybody join this right here. He's got some free YouTube videos. He's one of our mentors. He's the gentleman, he was 27 and earned 6 figures in 7 months, and he only trades like 2 pair each week maximum. He's, what did I say the name of this thing was? Trading Made Simple. I got so much stuff. I need to get another hard drive.
I just shared it, Gigi.
Oh, you got, thank you. So I'm sitting here looking everywhere for it. All right, so everybody should be able to download that. And for Terrell's YouTube, let's all join that too. Give him some subscribers.
Did you put that in the $1 Million Mindset chat?
No, I put it in
No,
the Zoom
it's
chat right
in
here.
the Zoom chat. I don't do that because it's not my chat, even though Clint and I are very close and we support each other. He's been on my Friday Night ForexNChill a few times. But type in T Banks Trading School. I'll give y'all his
Man, success, truth be told, success means freedom. Not having to get
this is
up
the
when
young
somebody
gentleman
else,
that
wants you up.
here's his trading school. He's got a couple videos uploaded already. When he had his first 5-figure day, he had a $16,000 day, and he went out and fed 200 families for Thanksgiving. Great guy. He was 27, he's 28 now. He's got market structure part 1 and part 2. For those of you who are new to market structure. Okay. I always give him a shout out because he's always helping me. Great guy. Tell him I sent you. Comment on his videos and say, Gigi said that you are the bomb. Because he really is a great guy.
He is.
Any questions on anything else?
What chat did you all put that in? I guess I'm not a member of that chat.
I put it in
right here.
the Zoom chat. It's in the Zoom chat.
Yeah, check
Oh,
out the
you
chat.
mean okay, gotcha.
Yep, it's right here in the Zoom chat.
Thanks,
So I'll give everybody an opportunity to download that because if I end,
it'll be gone.
It won't be there. So everybody get that downloaded. I'm just going to stop the recording and
Hey, Gigi, I don't see the download.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Everybody that joined, thank you.
Thank you, Gigi.
And I'm not going to end the call, but I am going to stop the recording. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see you on the next Friday Night ForexNChill.